Welcome everybody to the third season of If You Condone This Shit, They're Gonna Own Your Shit. I'm here back with my cousin and good buddy, Kenny. And hey, what's going on, Kenny? We had to take a needed break. He has a death in the family, in our family. And also I've had a bunch of medical challenges on my own accord. So we didn't want to. Yeah. So we didn't want to, lose the quality of the podcast by coming in half-assed. So we regrouped and we're ready to go. So with that, let's talk about some of the shit that we missed in the last weeks. Okay, Trump's convicted of 34 counts, and we're placing our bets on what you think, Kenny. Do you think he's going to get some time, or is he going to keep running out this clock?
He ain't getting no time. He's going to keep running out the clock.
Okay, he's going to go through the appeals and hope that he gets to be president and not have to serve a day in prison, huh?
No, he ain't. We're in trouble, bro.
Well, see, here's the thing, and that just, it always goes back to this podcast, the name, condoning shit, and they own your shit. People condone it. There's some people say, I'm not trying to be hard on you, Kenny. I'm just saying that these fucking there's people out there say, well, he ain't going to get any time. That's why he gets special treatment from everything he does. He's got the Supreme Court shilling for him. He's got Judge Cannon in Florida fucking up his court case, espionage case. All these people are working against the American system of justice. Now, the American system of justice is fucked up. Everybody knows it. But this is such blatant, outrageous fucking actions. It just makes my hair curl. Because this fucker's getting away with all kinds of shit. He goes to his parole officer. Now you worked in law enforcement. When the fuck do you ever see some motherfucker telling his parole officer he's gonna get fucking YouTube, not a YouTube, what do they call that fucking thing when you go a Zoom meeting with his parole officer? Now everybody else got to go get piss tests. They got to shake him down, and this motherfucker goes up and gets on Zoom. He's in another state. He's fled the jurisdiction of which he's been convicted of. And I think that's one thing. When you're a convicted felon, what do they tell you, Kenny? What's the first thing they tell your ass?
You can't get no job.
Well, you can't get a job, but you can't leave the fucking state. You don't get to leave the fucking state. You don't leave the jurisdiction. They say stay in this jurisdiction. That's one of the first rules, okay? The second rule is when you see your fucking parole officer, you go there and you take a piss test, right? And they read you the fucking riot act. And you don't have the ability to bring your lawyer to the fucking probation meeting, right? Huh?
He can't do none of that, bro.
Well, he's done all that shit. He's got his lawyer sitting there talking to him. He didn't have to take a piss test. What the fuck? What the fuck?
You think he doing drugs?
Oh, fuck yeah, that fucker does drugs. Yeah, he does drugs. Fuck, he's been on drugs for years. Fuck, he's a known drug user, and that's one of the reasons why he's incontinent. It's because of his drug use. At least it's been said, allegedly, that he has used drugs and has lost bowel control. So that's why he's got to wear Depends all the fucking time,
Who, Trump?
Yeah, you didn't know he was a diaper fucker?
No.
Oh, what was that? Cohen, who called him Baron von Shits and Pants? This is a guy that works with him.
Baron Bond shits his pants.
That's what they called him. Baron Bond shits and pants. So, and he's the first motherfucker that's sitting up here saying that there's a two-tiered justice system. Yeah. And you're at the top tier, motherfucker. You know, you're getting special treatment in every fucking way there is. And he's got all these fucking rubes paying for his, I'm sorry, paying for his lawsuit, you know? And then and if you think I'm going to post this on our fucking, on the podcast, because we just talked about it. Oh, this says, oh shit, why are Trump supporters wearing nappies at the rallies? And the whole article, nappies would mean they're wearing like diapers, saying that we like a president that wears diapers. Real men wear diapers.
Don't Biden wear a diaper?
I don't know if I've never seen a diaper, and I've seen the guy, he rides a bike. You think a man riding a bike is going to be shitting on himself and riding a bike?
He probably not riding a bike, but he's going to say,
well, hey, what's the purpose of wearing a diaper? You know that you don't have control of your bowels if you're wearing a diaper. I have a few friends that are incontinent, and that's the case. That's the reason why they can't fucking hold it. They go when they go. So if you're riding a bike, you're going to go when you're riding a bike. So unless you put in a butt plug, and then you're sitting on a plug on the bicycle seat.
That's nasty.
So there you go, man. So, yeah, I'm going to put this article up. It says, real men wear fucking diapers. There's nothing that these fucking cult members, you can't phase them no way. So when somebody tells me they're a Trump supporter, that to me, you know what that statement is that it's better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Okay. That's what Trump supporters are. When you say I support Trump, you've already proved that you're a fool. You know, because you've opened your mouth and removed all doubt. Wouldn't you say there, Kenny? Yeah.
I didn't know, bro. I'm still in shock. I didn't know you wear diapers, bro.
Oh, fuck yeah. Because he used now, here's the rumor. Now, it may not be true, so I'm going to preface it here. But he says that he has been using Adderall for years, and it's made him lose his continency, you know. So
Adderall, man, that shit Adderall bad, huh?
I don't know. I'm not an Adderall user, so I wouldn't know, man. But I'm saying that's some shit, ain't it? So, yeah. And these people, and it didn't phase none of his people. Now, you see, now he's going down in the polls because here it is. We have a stigma against people who have been prosecuted, convicted felons. You know, fucking convicted felon. The average Joe Blow can't get an apartment, right? You know, they do a background test, so you can't get a good job. You can't become a firefighter, policeman. I know that. You know, if this fucker gets made president, all bets are off. Every motherfucker can be anything. You should be able to be anything. If the fucking president of the United States, the highest fucking job or responsibility, becomes the fucking president, the highest fucking office in the land, and these fucking cult members vote him in, then all bets are off. Everybody should be able to be anything. There should be no fucking felons anymore.
So if there was the vote for president right now, who will win, you think?
Well, right now, Biden is ahead in the polls by about 2 points. So, but that doesn't mean anything because, you know, it's all about the swing states. It's all about the states. There's like 6 or 7 states that swing back and forth, and that gives you the electoral college, you know. So
what makes these fuckers be special? You know what I mean?
Well, because they can swing that. They can get them to that 270. You know, there's some hard grind states like, what we're going to talk about in a little while, like Louisiana and stuff like that, who's always going to vote for fucking, fucking Republican, So the Southern
mind blowing that shit. All the blacks they got out there. You mean you telling me?
Yeah. Go figure.
That shit is crazy, bro. I think all that shit is.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that's but that was what that Michael Cohen said. He called them Baron Pond shits and pans because he knew he shit. And then there's a recording. Go to YouTube, and I might even look it up if I get enough time. Look it up. There's a fucking a recording of a telephone call, and you can hear this. And Trump's and nobody's saying nothing. No.
What is it?
He's fucking shitting his pants. He's farting and shit. And then there was a lady that was at that trial of his and said he smelled so bad. It was so awful that because he was shitting in his pants. He said it smelled so awful she could hardly stand it. She was sitting right behind him. Okay.
Well,
yeah, I'll see if I could find that article and attach that to the web, the podcast. Yeah, but the guy, hey, there's too many indications that that's the case. So
both candidates shit on themselves.
Well, I don't know. There's nobody leaking saying that Biden's doing that.
Well, they said he shitted on himself on stage with his wife next to him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
said he had to leave the stage because he was in France or some shit. France.
Yeah. Well,
he had to escort him off the stage. He said, "I think I shit my pants."
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I hadn't seen that one, but hey, it's all possible. Hey, who amongst us haven't shit their pants once? I was working in the garage in the summertime. You ever heard of a thing called a shart?
The shart, where you
a shart. He said you try to fart, but
you shit.
You probably done that. Everybody's probably done it before. You didn't know how liquidy it was, but hey, I was in the garage and I said, I was going to cut one out, but luckily I caught it just enough. But it was only about a quarter size of shit came out. And I was, oh gosh, I got to strip. I closed the garage, stripped down, and got some baby wipes and took care of the issue. But but I wasn't. That's the first time, and I'm in my 60s, so that's been a long time. That was a couple of years ago. I was working on a car, and it was a hot summer day, and I said, oh shoot. And that's what happens. So anybody can happen. I'm talking about constantly, if you're a constant shitter, So, I had a friend of mine. He was from fucking, what do you call it? We both went on a call years ago, and we both got poisoned by poisonous gas. Okay.
What?
Yeah. So, and we both went to, I was the only one that went to a hospital, and I went to the poison center, and they said, oh yeah, they gave you you got enough dose of poison to kill you, but don't know why you're still alive. I said, oh shit. But my friend, the other firefighter that was with me, he didn't go to the hospital, but we used to climb the mountain, here in Phoenix. We used to climb the mountain up and, get up in the morning and climb the mountains, and he was climbing the mountain and he jumped on himself, and he was a young man. So I don't know if it was the side effect of the poison or whatever, but he said he had to drop his underwears up there on the mountain and come back down in his shorts. So
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So,
man, we're gonna have a shitty presidential race.
Well, that would be kind of entertaining if both of them start shitting on the stage when they're debating. You hear the mic go. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's go on. Let's talk about, what do you think about, this is something for you because it's your home state. What do you think about the Ten Commandments being put up in school in Louisiana?
Well, we need some kind of positive vibes in that shit, man.
Well, I don't, I'm not totally against the Ten Commandments, but which ones of them? There's 3 different Ten Commandments. Did you know that? I saw that state fucking the guy looked like Foghorn. Talk like Foghorn Leghorn, the fucking governor. But he said, what was that?
I tell you.
Yeah. Fucking Foghorn. But check this out. See, if you want to get deep down in that bullshit, there's like 3 versions of the 10 Commandments. Okay?
So it's not really the 10 Commandments, 30 Commandments, right?
Oh, hell no, buddy. Do you know there's 613 commandments? Because you know what he said in his press conference. If we're going to respect the law, we need to have our children understand the laws from the original lawgiver, Moses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that the Jewish faith has 613 commandments? Now, blow your mind there, buddy. Did you know that?
Crazy.
Did you know
that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's 613 fucking commandments, okay? According to Jewish tradition, the Torah contains 613 commandments, okay? Would you want 613 commandments hanging out in the school there?
Man, that's a lot of commandments. You'd be there 12 hours a day for school to stay on room commandments.
Well, here's the deal there, Kenny. We are not a religious country. A lot of people want it to be, but it's not the truth. This is not a country. It allows you to have you can disagree with me, but I'm going to give you my assessment by the scallywags assessment, because the founding fathers were not that religious. In fact, they were called deists, which meant they believed in a God, but they didn't believe in the Christian God. Okay? So, see, you probably never knew that, did you, Kenny?
Nope.
Okay, so there wasn't a lot of, they didn't want a country based on religion. Okay? So they made themselves secular. So they said, we'll allow every religion to flourish, but we don't want. That's why they says, you've heard of the statement, separation of church and state, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the foundation of the government. So while, if you're a Christian, you may like the 10 Commandments, but what about the Bible, the Quran, the Muslims Quran, the Hindus book, all these other people? Why should their children have to go to a tax-paying school and have to look at your 10 Commandments? Because that's your 10 Commandments, and they say that's the foundation of the law. Well, when you break it down to it, there's really only 2 things in there that is foundational in the law. You know what they are, right? Thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not steal. All that other shit you can get away with. That's not the foundation of our law, So I believe that, that first of all, I think when I was a kid, and this is before you were probably born. I was born in the 50s. So they used to pray in school, and they got rid of that. And one of the reasons is that children would be, just as I'm saying, you have a child that's a Hindu, a Muslim, or some other faith. They come to school and you're asking them to pray. Is that fair to them? They have a different faith. A Jewish person has a different faith than you. So why and they're all paying for the school. We all pay taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me where I'm wrong, because I think that's the foundation of this country. And if you go back, you'll go back with Thomas Jefferson, who wrote. You've heard of the Treaty of Tripoli, and I've talked about a couple of times ago. I said it was George Washington, but I looked it up, and it's Thomas Jefferson who signed the Treaty of Tripoli, and it was because the Muslims were fucking ripping off our ships over in the Mediterranean and the Egyptian Sea. They were hijacking our ships, and they said, well, because you guys are Christians and you're our natural enemies. And he said, well, we're not a Christian nation. So he signed the Treaty of Tripoli, and we've discussed what's the highest form of law in the United States is treaties. So anyway, and that treaty says we are not a Christian nation. So I wouldn't argue with Thomas Jefferson, would you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see, so when people do this, all that does is give one religious group a little bit more of a foothold. Because years ago, I worked. My family was Catholic. Your family's Catholic, right?
Yep.
Okay, so and that's a deep-seated Catholic. I understand it. So but I worked as a kid for a summer job, Catholic youth organization. Okay, and I was never a practicing Catholic, but I went there, and they said, well, what's your religion? I said, oh, well, my mom and father are Catholic. And they said, oh, good, you'll get fine. We'll put you over here in this Catholic youth. And I never saw such division. I thought, oh, this is going to be cool to be around people of the faith and stuff like that. And I saw more division about which parish you went to, who's your father, and stuff like that. And I thought, wow. And they were such infighting. And I'm not saying, to me, it showed me a negative light. I didn't. Yeah. I thought that if these people of the same faith could not get along, or was so discriminatory from parish to parish or school, because most of the kids that were there went to Catholic school, and oh gosh, you went to the wrong Catholic school, you were in deep shit, man. So I mean, that to me, I thought was wow. I said people will find division wherever they are. They find a way to divide people. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. So I'm firmly against the Ten Commandments, and I don't think religion, your faith should be your faith. It's not. I don't condone proselytization. And a lady came to my house last week. This is a true story. Came to my house, and she rings the door. I'm having breakfast, dude. She rings the doorbell. She says, well, I've been coming by your house, and I just want to share the word of the Lord with you, says as such. And I said, let me tell you, ma'am. I said, do you think that if you got a good thing, do you think you have to come out and look for me? I'm going to seek you out. It's just like people with iPhones. Does somebody have to, do you have an iPhone, Kenny?
Yeah.
Okay. You love that iPhone, don't you?
I ain't going to say all that, but yeah.
You like it. That's your preference, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, but you have a preference for that. Nobody had to, they didn't need to have a fucking commercial on television, and you want one because you liked him, or my brother gave you one of the two.
I ain't never got that one. I ain't never got that from him.
Oh, that's shit. Oh. But yeah, I know he gave a whole bunch of them. Everybody had an iPhone from him. I never got one, Me
neither. I got an iPad.
He gave me an iPad like 1 year before he passed away. It's really 6 months before he passed away. I used to rag him about everybody getting one. But anyway, I digress. But I understand. But see, and I wanted it just for GarageBand on it so I could do podcast editing. But other than that, I had Apple computers years ago, back when you were probably you were a child when Apple IIs were out, when they first had the first Apple computer. I had like 4 or 5 generations of Apple, and then Apple got to be too big for the britches, and I went to the PCs, and I never looked back. So my first Apple I've owned in 30 years is that iPad that my brother bought me. So that I was very resistant to Apple. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, if you got a good thing, religion or whatever, people, you don't have to proselytize it. Because, nobody had to tell you to go out and chase women to get gratification, didn't they? Didn't have to proselytize you. They didn't have to say, hey, you didn't have to have somebody sit you down. Now, Kenny, this is what you need to do to be happy. You need to chase women. You knew instinctively to chase women. You watched everybody else do it. You said, hey, I like this. I like kissing women. I like the smell of a woman, So no one had to tell me shit to go of. I knew I liked women. Huh? So there you go. No one had to do that. So the same thing should be for faith. If it's good, and if you see somebody that it helps them, makes their life easy, you don't need to proselytize, do you? Just like that fucking, hey, and when you were a kid, and if McDonald's or let me see, the best burger I ever had was some Fuddruckers, the chili cheeseburger.
Well,
you ever had one of them?
Not from that place.
Fuddrucker? Oh man, chili cheese fucking burger with some fries. Oh shit, man.
They don't have Fuddruckers no more. Huh?
No, yeah, I think they're all closed. I haven't seen them in a long time.
I remember you took me to one on Sepulveda and Pico.
Yeah. Just stop saying his name, man. I'm gonna have to cut him out. But anyway, I had one from Fuddruckers, and every time I passed the Fuddruckers, I couldn't go in there without that, because they put that big old slice of meat on there. They put some two pieces of cheese, some chili beans and chili on that fucker, and the burger was like the size of a small saucer, You ate that. The fries were incidental because you couldn't eat the burger and the fries together. You had to take the fries home with you. But anyway.
Man, that shit sounds so good. I wish I had.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got a lot of dining venues there in Big Vegas, don't you?
Man, that shit, they're paying our arm and a leg for that bullshit.
See, the food ain't cheap no more in Vegas, is it?
Hell no. All buffets are $100, over $100.
Shit. Wow. Oh, Lordy, they taking the money off of your ass, ain't they?
Not me, I don't go no more.
Yeah, shit. Oh, God.
And then I can't eat as much food like I used to,
Yeah. Well, see, I remember going there. What was it at the one where the two magicians were at? What's it? That little guy that don't talk and the big guy.
Oh,
the Rio. Yeah, they used to have a seafood. One time I went there, and it was like $65 years ago. This is like 20 years ago. I went down there, and a friend of mine said, go to the Rio. And I went down there, and I'm looking for, $9.99 shit. So I go to the Rio, I'm standing in line, and the people said, that'd be $69. What the? I said, there ain't that much seafood I could eat. I can't eat that much seafood. I can eat a lot, but I don't think I could eat $69 worth of food. So that's
crazy.
Yeah,
not everything over 100.
Yeah, okay. Crazy. Well, people like that shit. So hey, that's not a.
The funny part?
What?
You only got 10 time limit.
Only got what?
90 minutes.
Really? Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, what else? They're fucking
90 minutes. So you got to go, huh? So you can't sit there and eat all day, huh?
Hell no.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Oh, and then the other thing. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put that on there. But hey, so the war goes on in Gaza, and yeah, and you know, hey, we got to congratulate us. We're one of the first people, I think, on the podcast that was against the war when it started. You know, both me and you, we were against the shit, right?
Yep.
Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. See, because we're common sense kind of guys, there, Kenny. What are you doing? Did you swallow the phone?
No, I'm right here.
That wasn't me. I thought Trump was in here taking a shit on the diapers on.
Burp.
What was that?
I had burp.
You had burp. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Hey, but so the war goes on, and the other day, a couple of weeks ago, they said that they rescued like 4 people, and they killed 270 people to rescue those. And one of my friends was saying how good that was. I said, so they gave 4 people their dreams and took the dreams of 274 people. Do you think that's a fair exchange?
That shit don't even make sense, bro.
No.
It's what they're the intelligence, the best military, and all that shit. You can't. Yeah.
No, you know, and then they said the other day that the United States helped them. So if you're helping them, aren't you part of the problem? If you're using logistics and stuff like that, and they come in there and kill 200, they're gonna go into a densely populated, and you know they can do it without doing that. They've done it. They've done it when they had that Entebbe thing. They went up. They chased those people all around the world and killed them off, and didn't kill a bunch of people. Okay, but so what they're doing this shit out of spite. You know, people tried to tell. Oh well, I had a friend of mine's called me up, and he was, he was all for it, and I said, hey, I'm not for that. He said, well, you mean they don't have a right to defend them? I said, well, you're defending yourself when somebody's attacking you. The attack was over a long time ago, so you're not defending yourself. I said, and you're killing civilians. I said, you're doing things. Oh, well, you're not. You just don't understand. You know. I said, I do understand. First of all, he was never in the military. Okay. He said he was in ROTC in college. So what the fuck does that make you in the military? That's just like me saying I went to a military academy. That's not the same thing as putting on a fucking uniform, learning how to shoot and kill people, and knowing that you're under the code of military justice. Okay? So, and I told him, I said, when I was in the Air Force, that I used to walk through the pilot's ready room, and on the wall, since we're talking about the Ten Commandments, in the pilot's ready room, they said they had rules of a pilot, okay? And one of them was like, when a pilot ejects, you can't shoot at the pilot that's ejecting, okay? You can't intentionally drop bombs on civilians, but they have done it, but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to be targeting civilians. These are rules of a professional soldier. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. Of course, I couldn't explain it to him because, there are some people who discount the lives of other people. They don't see other people as people. Now, these same group of people, they could probably be with their dogs and think their dog, they'll pay $10,000 to save their dogs in an emergency room, but don't get 2 squirts of piss for another human being's life. And I think people who do that has got to ask themselves the fundamental question, what's wrong with you? What the fuck is your malfunction in your head that you don't understand that every life is important, that every person, go ahead.
I don't understand that. How you think your race is better than somebody else's race? You know?
He's not Jewish, so he doesn't have any. And Jewish people aren't a race of people; it's a religion. You know. So you know what they say about Semitic people? Well, half of the Jewish race come from Europe, and they're not Semitic people, and they're not race. And we use race wrong. There's only one race, the human race. You know, all the parts fit on all of us. You find another human that the parts don't fit, then we can talk about a race. But there's no race. They're just different color variants, and we call it race. But there's no fucking races. There's only one fucking race, human race. You know, you take the heart out of one human, it goes into another human. You take the eyes out of one human, it goes into another human. You know, all the parts fit, so we're the same. Now, you take the eyes out of a dog, do you think it's going to fit in a human?
No.
Okay. Now, they've tried to fuck around with pigs' hearts and stuff like that, and these people only live for a little while. But people are human beings of the same group of people. You know, they're all one thing. And we use those, just like that Catholic youth organization that I worked at. We use these little divisors because it's easier. It's easy because a person is a dark-skinned person to say, ooh, he's a different person. No, he ain't different from that. He's just got different melanin in his skin. That makes him darker, you know? Mm-hmm. There's certain things that makes your eyes blue. There's certain things that makes your eyes, your hair blonde. But it doesn't make you a different human. It doesn't make you any better than the other person. Because if you look around the whole world, all of us put in, you know, have at one time been up on the top of the the human dynamic chain, you know. The Africa, you know, like in Africa, you know, they want to show you these pictures of fucking people in grass skirts and all this other shit and stuff like that. But when the fucking Europeans was living in caves and fucking drawing on the side of a cave, Africans were doing heart surgery and shit. You know?
Back in them days.
Back before the Europeans could ever think their fucking ass out of could go beyond the spear, these fucking people were doing medicine. And you know why they know they were doing medicine? Because they pulled up the bones of the people that were dead. They found calcification where the bones had been joined back together. You think some fucking caveman figured out that he could set a bone back? Huh? You think so? So all of us had a time at the top of the chain. You know, we had a time. Yeah. You know, Chinese who invented gunpowder. You know, and they didn't use it to kill people. They used it for fucking throw parties and shit. You know.
Yeah.
But everybody had some ability to participate with it. You know, the Greeks brought democracy to the world, the ruling of the people, you know. So, you know, but people want to believe it, you know. It's just like, I think the biggest crime that has been bestowed upon white people is the belief that they're superior, the belief that they're so much better than anybody else, you know.
Yeah.
And I was reading about education. This is an interesting story. See, I like this because, you know, there's always these people that tell you, you know, I came from nothing. I did this and I built this. And I always said, you know, it's kind of like somebody in the ocean and they're speeding down. They got a sailboat and the wind is at their back and it's going in the direction they're going, you know, and they're saying, and they're sitting around there and say, gosh, look at this boat I built this fast, but the wind was at their back. Okay, the same thing going by all these other people. I was reading about education. education of blacks in America, and one of it was they were talking about the South. A black kid in the South was getting $4.59, and I'll put that in the article about education, and the white person was getting 80 something dollars or $49. It was higher, at least 5 times as much. Okay. And then they want you to compete on a level playing field when you've engineered the playing field to be fucked up. Huh? So, okay, I'm going to educate you less, and then I'm going to pollute your fucking place where you live, and then I'm going to make sure that I don't give you any opportunities for good jobs. I want to make sure that you get only menial jobs. Okay? And I'm going to disenfranchise you and then treat you as a second-class citizen and then be amazed that you made it. Now, ain't that some shit?
That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, I accidentally ran across a lady. It was Juneteenth, and I was walking, and the lady said, "Well, I wonder why they're not picking up the trash today." I said, "Well, today's Juneteenth." Juneteenth. So why can't these people get past anything? Get past the past. I said, "Well, if it was in the past, I'd be right with you." I said, "But it ain't in the past." You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She didn't want to hear about it because it was inconveniencing her,
Yeah.
But she'd be the first one if somebody took her, if she went to the Walmart and somebody treated her, mistreated her in any way, she'd be the first one with a pitchfork and screaming bloody murder. Okay? Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. That would be, I'm going to put that in the thing about education of black people and how much money they spend and how they continually fight. So why would, if you want to say that everything is equal, then why would you created segregation? If equality was the thing you wanted, then why would you have segregated the schools, segregated the neighborhoods? If you wasn't fucking somebody, you didn't want, see, when you segregated and you put them all in a bunch, everybody was the same. But if you were to go to a white school and see that they had a pool in the floor and they had football teams that they were paying for, that they had advanced placement classes and all this other stuff, and your ass was just luckily if you could get through algebra. That's all they teach you, But I digress. We know it's not fair, but I just want, sometimes I plant these thought seeds and I want somebody to say, maybe he's got something there. Because history, I don't have to make shit up. The history is telling you. So anyway, let's go on. I want to talk about, we talked about the Ten Commandments. Let's talk about Project 2025. Have you checked that out, Kenny?
No, it was Project 2025.
Oh, Kenny, I'm glad you asked. It's the fucking playbook that Trump is going to use to fuck up the government and take over the United States. Okay? Mm. And they've already written it out. I'm going to put a link to it. But what it does, you worked as a cop, right? So you know about civil service, that you have rights. If somebody, your boss just can't come up to you and say, "Kenny, you fired." Okay, you can say, "What's the cause? What did you do? What was the steps you took to correct me?" Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's called civil service. So that's been around for probably about more than 100 years. It makes your police department professionals. It takes away the good old boy network because while years ago, and this is a side jaunt, but years ago when they had police departments and mayors, when the mayor would come in like in New York, the mayor would come in and they changed the whole police department. Everybody lost their fucking job. Okay? And because he would put all his friends in, you know? So unless you were part of his political machine, he got rid of every sanitation worker, anybody who worked in government got their ass handed to them. Okay? So you didn't have a consistent workforce. People couldn't learn their job, so everything was corrupt. So they decided to have civil service. And that's just a little piece. But what Trump wants to do, he wants mostly all the government employees to be at-will employees that he can fire anytime he gives a fuck. Because before, what stopped him from doing a lot of vicious shit was because they were professional employees. The people that worked in justice were lawyers. They have 20 to 30 year tenure. You know, they have a pension system. People that work for the FBI, they have 20, 30-year pensions, and they're professionals. And they keep their job no matter who comes in, you know. So they're called the institutional memory of the government. So you have to have them because you can't invent the wheel every time somebody changes. All the laws, all that institutional memory, like people know what they can and cannot get away with. The law enforcement, the Justice Department, the Treasury, the IRS, all these people work by rules and their job are secure. And that's the main thing is why people go into civil service, is that they don't get paid a lot of money, but they have a secure job. You can't just go in and take a civil service job and say, take a civil servant's job and fuck them. Well, this is what Project 2025 does. He wants to eliminate all those positions and create, at-will employees. So if you disagree with Trump, you get fired. So he can put his son in as attorney general. He can put his daughter in charge of the Treasury Department, his other son in charge of the post office, anything he wants. So what he wants to do is turn the United States into a kingdom, okay, with Trump dynasty, okay, and this heritage organization, they put it out. It's 1,000 pages on every step they're going to take. They're going to get rid of affirmative action. They're going to get rid of discrimination against black people. You know, they're not going to have anything where they protect you. They protect you. You know, so
well, a lot of people get killed.
Yeah. But that's what they're going to do. That they want it to be around the turn of the century in the 1900s. They're going to do exactly that. And see, that's why he's dangerous. Not because he shits on himself. Not because of any of this. Because he had a taste of government. Now he knows how to pull the levers and eliminate the opposition that's going to be in front of him. So he can get farther. He can do more, you know. So
do you think when he's in office, he's going to try to fix it where he can be?
Oh, yeah. He's going to make sure he jury rig all of the elections so that he has his own Congress, his own Senate, and he's already got his own Supreme Court. So he's got, 6 conservative justices, and that's why his fucking court case for espionage has fucking slowed up because they're waiting for the Supreme Court to say if he's got total immunity. Now, what the fuck? They're arguing that president has total immunity. Now, if and let's play this thought experiment all the way out to the end. So if they say that before he gets to be fucking elected, You know what's going to happen? Joe Biden can just go ahead and kill his ass, because one of the arguments is if president thought that his competition was dangerous to the country, couldn't he send in SEAL Team 6 to kill his competition? And because he thought it, and not be prosecuted for it. That's the argument that they brought before the fucking Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And these stupid asses, all 6 of them, are sitting up there holding him in. Now, let me give you I was in the military. You was never in the military. But let me give you an idea of how vicious the military. Now, this guy has been indicted over stealing secrets of the United States. Okay? Now, when I was in the military, I had a top secret clearance, and I had every day when I went to work with this security clearance, I had keys to a file cabinet, and I had to sign a log and give the other guy the key. He signed the log, and that's how we knew those motherfuckers. And every time that fucking drawer was open, you had to fucking sign for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and if anything happened to that, they tell you were going to go to jail for 20 fucking years in Leavenworth. Okay. Maybe you wasn't, but did you think I wanted to play that game? Okay. That was secret, top secret shit. Okay, this motherfucker takes it from the White House, and he has no responsibility. No authority to do it. Once you cease being president, you don't have authority to top secret shit. They may talk to you about it, and that's been the tradition. As long as you were a good doobie, they would talk to you about, secret things and give you, if they cared about your opinion, they would say, hey, what do you think? I'm sure Biden calls up Barack Obama and say, hey, man, I got this thing going on. What do you think about this? Okay, because he was the president. They both were presidents. Now, I don't think Biden calls up Trump and asks him shit. Okay? So, he don't even ask him where the toilet paper is in the White House if he had shit running down his leg. So, anyway, long story short, this guy has stole shit like that. Okay? And they're fucking slow walking this case because they know once they get in front of a jury, he's going to get convicted. And the government begged him to send back the shit. They worked with him for almost a year. The National Archives knew the information was at his house, and they called him for over a year trying to get that fucker to do it. And what did he do? As soon as he knew they were coming, he started hiding shit. He wanted to keep it. Okay? Now, why the fuck would somebody think that he doesn't deserve to fucking be prosecuted for that? Because he was the president? Fuck that. Just because he's the president does not make him God. I know some people had, if Joe Biden went crazy and shot somebody, got in his skivvies, got on his bike and ran down Pennsylvania Avenue with an AK and started shooting people, I'd say fuck him too. Okay? He's got to go to jail. See? But people don't have that kind of thought process in their head. They're not going to come up with that shit. He's president. So fucking what? People, there's all kinds of people, that's been something before, Anyway, but that's what I'm trying to say, that people don't know there's a plan. So what these people have sat down and developed and say, why couldn't we do this? Yes, no. Why wasn't the government bending to our will? So they decided to create this plan to do it. So when you think about all these people who want to give up everything at the altar of Trump, think about that. And my final thing is, let's talk about blacks for Trump. How many black people you think are enthralled with Trump? Go.
But what they showing it on the news, shit, there's a lot of them.
Come on, man. That church thing. Did you see that church? Did you see the when they went out there and take a wide shot? That church was full of white people. You didn't see that? Come on. There's some blacks for Trump. Yeah, and I'd say, what is the guy's name? Mike Tyson is a friend of Trump. So that don't mean he's got a big old crew. If blacks know anything, they should know that Trump will fuck them. Huh? They have tape recordings of him using the N-word on The Apprentice.
On The Apprentice?
Yeah, that show The Apprentice. So you're going to tell me that would you vote for a person who that's in their vernacular?
That shit is crazy, bro.
And
that's
put him in charge of what would be your life for 4 years.
We ain't got no fucking, man. This shit is over with, bro. That's all we got. Choices of those two motherfuckers.
Hey, those are the choices. But here's the thing. You know, remember we talked about this in the other podcast. We talked about blacks have never got, except for one time, when they got Barack Obama, they have never gotten the person that they would feel comfortable with. What we do is damage control. When we vote for the person that's not going to fuck us hard. Okay? Now, Biden has done a lot of shit. You know? He ain't perfect. You know? But I just told you the parameters. I'm not, you know, I was watching some guy, a Trump voter, and he said, hey, if he shoots somebody, remember, I just told you, if Biden went mad and got on his bike and went down Pennsylvania Avenue and shot a bunch of people, I'd say, fuck Biden. Okay? Because I live in a real world. I know there has to be consequences for shit. Shit don't work unless there's consequences. You know? If any person in this country knew just how, what we have done is we've created this fucking, we've allowed these people that are in the government to create this special purpose shit for Trump. You know, he had, when he was at court, the judge told him, you know, that not to talk about shit, and he just go out there and talk about how many, when you were working for the police department, the sheriff department, I don't know, you know, I know the most sheriff's department, they have a duty that you hang out in the court. Okay. How many people you think how long do you think you could disobey a court order before they find your ass in contempt?
Carry your ass.
It is quick. You don't say shit. I've had a few friends that got themselves in contempt. One person, I remember, one of my friends, he says, he told the judge, he says, Judge, I can't, he was getting a divorce and he had to pay child support and, you know, and spousal maintenance. He said, well, I don't have nothing to live in. And the judge told him to get a job. And he said, well, fuck that. He said, you can put me in jail and then the bitch won't get nothing. Excuse my wording. But and he says, I can get that arranged. and then he had something that came over him. He said, then I realized that this guy really can put me in jail. And he said, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry I said that because he was going to arrange it for you. Because it make no skin off of that judge. You're not hurting that judge. All you're doing is hurting yourself. And the bill was still going to be there when you get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? It still was going to have that spousal maintenance. So him and the judge got along fine once you understand the parameters. Never would I ever have an expectation not to follow a court order. Because, you see, that's a social contract that we have in society, Kenny. We obey the rules because we want to live in a civilized society. If we all got to fucking do whatever we want, we would travel down the street at 140 miles an hour, steal people's shit. Somebody get a new iPhone, you punch them in the mouth and take that motherfucker. Well, there are some cities that do that, but it's not commonplace, you know? They don't come to your house. The bigger motherfucker don't come to your house and with his guns and his brothers and take over your house and say, "Now I own this motherfucker." You know, that's feudalage. See, and that's what these people have got to understand. If this motherfucker doesn't get prosecuted, the next motherfucker that comes up behind him is going to do worse. That's our only direction, man. That's the only way we going to get out of this shit. He must be prosecuted. He must be jailed. And I want the motherfucker to go to jail. I want him to get at least 6 months in jail while he's campaigning. I think he ought to go to fucking jail while he's campaigning. And he can have, I think they ought to get like a little video feed from his jail cell. So, you know, and then that when they have one of those campaign rallies, they just show him. He just coming in there in his prison suit, and he can go in there and campaign from jail. We don't want him stopping from campaigning, but his ass need to be in jail, you know? So 34 counts of anything. How many times you think somebody, you know, that's how they scare motherfuckers. Isn't that how they get you to do a plea bargain? They put so many counts on there. They got 7 counts of burglary. You only burglarize one fucking thing, but they put 7 counts on your ass. And then you say, well, we'll charge you with 1 if you agree to a plea deal, right? That's the way it works. So they overcharge the shit out of you, and they make you take 1 plea. This motherfucker's got 34 fucking guilty verdicts. And then they're talking about, well, he might get community service. I say, fuck that shit. Fuck him. Let his ass go to jail. Now, I know some of you Trumpers are going to be shitting in your pants, sharting all over yourself. Well, fuck you, motherfuckers. Hey, go fuck yourself. Hey, you want to live in a civilized society. You wouldn't want some motherfucker driving down the street and your kid's playing in the street and he hits them and then he gets away with the shit. You'll have your ass, you say, oh, this ain't justice. But you want that you don't want that justice for him. See? That's the drug of being white. You know? That's the drug. That's the bullshit they've been feeding yourself. Wake up, motherfucker! Wake up! Hey!
You've been holding it up, Gally.
Yes, I have. Hey, this was my cathartic thing, man. And we haven't been getting around to it. So wake up, motherfuckers. If you vote for Trump, a vote for Trump is a vote for fucking chaos. And on the other side of that chaos, you're not going to like it. Because, you know, there was a thing they said in Germany. They said they came for the trade unionists, and I wasn't a trade unionist. They came for the Jew, and I wasn't a Jew. And they came for me, and there was nobody to speak up. See? So if you allow shit to ride, it's going to come back on you. I guarantee it. And that's the warning. So, with that, Kenny, we're going to hit Die in Vain, my friend.
All right now, bro. It's nice to get back to the microphone.
Yes, it is. Hey, and we did it in 1 hour and 6 minutes, so I didn't carry you over, even though I got a little bit carried away at the end. So here we go.
The world is spinning out of control, a never-ending cycle of blood and soul. Families torn apart, children left alone, as they march to the battlefield with hearts of stone. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain. Bombs exploding, bullets flying all around us. There's no denying the horror of war. The price we pay for our leaders, greed, day after day. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain.
Okay, Scallywag and Big Kenny out. Make sure you guys watch the debate, and we're going to be on it like stink on shit next week. Scallywag signing out. And Big Kenny. Okay.